Hello everyone, my name is Miranda and today I'm here to review the lovely, it's upside down, The Lovely Reckless by Kami Garcia, who is one of the co-authors of Beautiful Creatures. She also writes an amazing horror supernatural series that I absolutely love, and the third book is not out yet. I think it's because she was writing this book instead, but I need that third book in my life. So this is more of a contemporary YA romancy book that I was interested in reading. It sounded very much like Perfect Chemistry, if you've ever read those series, or kind of Katie Magari with the whole pushing the limits, chasing the impossible, all those kind of ones. It sounded like that with the good-ish girl meets the supposed bad guy and then they fall in love and, you know, we're all happy and stuff. So this book is about a girl whose boyfriend was killed a few months ago right in front of her, and ever since that her whole world has kind of imploded, naturally as it would, and she's not doing so good. So at the start of the book, she gets pulled over for drunk driving, and as a stipulation, since her father is a cop, they agree that she will go live with her father instead of her mother and have to move schools to kind of the more gritty side of the town and just kind of figure herself out and get herself recentered and readjusted to this new place that she finds herself in. She also has to do community service as part of her kind of giving back to the community for her drunk driving. She ends up going to the community center and working with middle school kids, and one of the kids she meets there happens to be the younger sister of the supremely hot, supremely dangerous boy at her school who has taken a liking to her, and the story kind of goes off from there. A lot of this book obviously hangs on the relationship between Frankie and Marco, the good girl and the bad boy. But for me, it just unfortunately did not work. I think this is a major case of insta-love where there's nothing really special or anything. There's no moment that connects Frankie and Marco. It's just kind of literally like, I liked you and was intrigued by you from the moment I saw you, which is fine. Like, I'm sure that does happen in real life when you see someone and you're like, hey, you're kind of cute, and then like you follow them like eyes around, you know? But like the way they took it, it was just like literally like she would say like one thing and he was like, oh, I love you so much. And it's like, that's not how it works. Like, they need a deeper connection, I feel like. They needed more connection, more emotional stuff to make me really root and believe in this relationship. I had issues with that. And then also I hate, and it's one of my least favorite tropes, I've said this before, how love and relationships are used sometimes to fix characters. So like Frankie is obviously dealing with a lot of stuff with seeing her boyfriend die in front of her, and she's going through PTSD. She can't remember who killed him. She knows she saw who it was, but she's kind of blocked that whole traumatic experience from her memory, so she's getting it in flashback. She isn't really able to sleep, and the PTSD, I will say, is done very well. Like how she just can't sleep, how little things set her off into flashbacks of that night, how she can't really do certain things because of the way they remind her, how she can't speak of certain things because of how they remind her and what happened and everything. So I like that. I feel like that was very authentic and very natural. But what happens is, like, halfway through it just disappears because of Marco, we're supposed to believe. He makes her feel safe, he makes her feel protected, but it's like that's not really what I wanted. I wanted her to feel safe on her own, kind of learn to trust herself again, learn to not be scared of her own mind, whereas instead she seeks comfort in Marco, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but he's a guy you just met. He's a guy that everyone is telling you is super dangerous and super, maybe not the best to be around, so I would have liked if she was kind of more made the decision for herself, that like, I'm gonna protect myself, I'm gonna watch out for myself, and it'll be okay. So that was an issue that like Marco and his love seemingly fixed her in a way. Not that she needs to be fixed, but like that's what suddenly made her PTSD disappear. It was very strange. And then the other thing about Marco is he was a really one-dimensional character. Like, we were supposed to believe he was like this super dangerous, super bad boy, but like we see him get him in like 2 fights, and then there's also this like unresolved thing where like everyone says he sleeps around and is like just dating every single chick, and then Frankie brings it up and Marco seems like offended, like, oh, who told you that? Like, why would you think that? Like, where it makes it seem like it's not true and you think like, oh, it's gonna go somewhere, like maybe he just lets people believe that, and then it's really never mentioned again. So it was really strange. I don't know, I just feel like this again is like kind of a ripoff almost of a Katie Magari, because she's kind of capitalized on this bad boy, good girl kind of love story that they meet together. I just feel like it's been done before, and this is not a great way to do it because it was just, characters were really one-dimensional. The story was just kind of flat. Like, it moved because the author made it move, not because like it naturally flowed. Like, it was just like, okay, our character's here in a really depressing place, but I'm gonna put her here by chapter 5. So like, you're just gonna like have to adjust to that, and it didn't feel authentic or natural, unfortunately. It's just, it could have been so much better. I feel like it had the bad boy falling in love with a good girl cliche that I love it so much. Like, I eat those books up. So for me to not like this, I think it shows that it wasn't really that good, and I ended up giving 1 out of 5 stars. So I think that's about going to do it for this review. If you have read The Lovely Reckless or are interested in reading it, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below to be told when I make all sorts of new videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!